The night was quiet on the edge of a small human colony on Mars II, a red and lonely world. The stars looked like frozen sparks in the black sky. A thin wind moved through the empty streets, carrying dust and the sound of metal roofs shaking. Inside a small metal house, a 5-year-old boy named Eli was half asleep, hugging his soft blue blanket. The blanket was his favorite thing in the world. His mother had made it for him when they came from Earth. It smelled like home and warmth. Outside, the cold grew sharper. The temperature dropped below zero and frost began to form on the walls of the colony fence. The colony lights flickered, then steadied again. Most people were asleep. Only the security drones moved in the dark. Eli turned in his bed. Something made him open his eyes. It was not a sound, and more like a feeling. He sat up, rubbed his eyes, and looked out the small window. The world outside was silver with moonlight. Then he saw movement, 2 small figures shaking and glowing faintly blue. He pressed his nose against the window. At first he thought they were lost kids, but when one of them lifted its face, he saw huge black eyes, smooth pale skin, and tiny hands with 3 fingers. Aliens. Eli's heart jumped. He had never seen one before. His mother once told him that some aliens lived far from the human zones, but they were peaceful and shy. "Never hurt them," she said. "They're people too, just from another star." The 2 small aliens were close to the fence, shivering badly. One of them fell to its knees in the snow dust. The other tried to lift it up, making soft sounds that Eli didn't understand. He could see their thin arms and how cold they looked. No clothes, just glowing skin and fear in their eyes. Something inside Eli hurt. They looked so cold. He thought about his blanket, warm, soft, safe. Without thinking, he jumped out of bed, wrapped the blanket around himself, and opened the small airlock door quietly. The wind hit him hard, but he didn't stop. He walked across the metal ground, his little feet freezing. The 2 aliens saw him and froze in fear. The one standing stepped in front of the other, trying to protect it. Eli stopped a few steps away. He smiled, a small, scared smile. "Don't be afraid," he whispered. "You're cold." They didn't move. Their eyes blinked slowly, watching his every step. Eli took off the blanket from his shoulders and held it out with both hands. The aliens looked at the cloth, confused. Then the smaller one made a soft, weak sound, almost like a cry. Eli stepped closer and gently placed the blanket around them. The glowing blue light from their skin faded a little as the warmth covered them. The taller alien touched the edge of the blanket, then looked at Eli again. It said something, a soft string of sounds like music. Eli didn't understand, but he felt it meant, "Thank you." The wind roared again. Eli's teeth began to shake. He hugged himself and smiled. "It's okay," he said softly. "You can keep it." The aliens looked at each other. Then the smaller one reached out its hand and touched Eli's chest right over his heart. For a second, he felt a gentle heat spread through him like sunshine. The fear in his chest disappeared. Suddenly a bright light flashed from the sky. A large shadow passed over them, a spaceship quiet but massive like a dark cloud. Eli looked up, eyes wide. The aliens turned too. The taller one made a sharp sound, maybe a warning. The ship hovered for a moment, scanning the area. Eli heard his mother's voice calling from inside the house. "Eli, where are you?" He turned his head, shouting, "I'm here, Mama." When he looked back, the aliens were gone. Only the blanket remained on the ground, folded neatly. But something strange was different. The blue cloth shimmered faintly, glowing with the same light as the alien's skin. Eli picked it up carefully. It was warm again, almost alive. The spaceship sound faded in the distance. He looked at the sky, wondering if they were safe. As he walked back toward his house, the glow from the blanket softly lit the dark path. He didn't know that this small act, one child's kindness, would soon change everything on Mars II. Because somewhere out there, those alien twins were not just thankful. They were making a promise. The next morning, the red sun of Mars II rose slowly above the colony. Thin beams of light touched the metal houses, turning them orange. Inside one of them, Eli was still asleep, holding his glowing blanket tight against his chest. When his mother, Laura, entered the room, she froze. The blanket was shining softly, pulsing like a heartbeat. "Eli," she whispered, touching his shoulder. "Where did you get that light?" Eli blinked his sleepy eyes and smiled. "The twins gave it back," he said simply. Laura frowned. "Twins? What twins?" Eli pointed toward the window. The cold ones. They were outside last night. They were freezing. I gave them my blanket. Lara's face went pale. She rushed to the window and looked out at the dusty ground beyond the fence. There were small marks in the dust, strange footprints glowing faintly blue. She turned back to her son. You went outside alone? Eli, that's dangerous. The air isn't even safe without your suit. Eli just hugged the blanket tighter. They were cold, Mama. I wanted to help. Lara sighed, her anger melting into fear and confusion. She sat beside him. You did something kind, she said softly. But aliens, we don't know what they can do. She lifted the blanket carefully. The glow brightened as she touched it. It felt warm, not from heat but from energy, alive somehow. When she held it closer, a faint whispering sound came from it like wind through glass. That day, strange things began happening. The colony's power grid started flickering again. Lights turned off and on at random. Machines glowed faintly blue for seconds at a time, then returned to normal. People started whispering about a power ghost. The security team ran system checks but found nothing wrong. Eli, meanwhile, carried his blanket everywhere. He said it made him feel safe. Sometimes when he sat alone, he thought he heard soft voices from it. 2 small voices, like children talking far away. That night when Lara tucked him into bed, she said, "Promise me you won't go outside again." "I promise," Eli said quietly. But promises are hard when curiosity is stronger than fear. At midnight, Eli woke up again. The blanket was glowing brighter than ever. He could feel something, a call, like someone whispering his name inside his head. Eli, come. He sat up. Who's there? He whispered. No answer, only the sound of wind outside. Then from the window he saw 2 small blue lights moving near the fence, the same lights from last night. His heart raced. He wrapped himself in the glowing blanket and quietly opened the door again. Outside the air was cold but not biting this time. The moment his feet touched the ground, the blanket seemed to protect him. The air around him shimmered faintly like an invisible bubble. The 2 aliens were waiting near the colony's old water tank. They were the same twins, smaller than him, their skin glowing faintly. When they saw him, their dark eyes lit up. One of them raised its hand and made a small wave-like gesture. It looked almost human. Eli smiled and walked closer. You came back, he said softly. The smaller alien stepped forward and touched the edge of the blanket. The glow spread across its arm, and suddenly an image flashed in Eli's mind. A memory that wasn't his. He saw a ship flying through red storms, fire everywhere. The twins were inside, holding hands, crying. Their ship crashed somewhere far in the desert. He saw them crawl out into the cold night, scared and alone. When the vision faded, Eli gasped. You crashed. You were hurt, he said. The aliens nodded slowly. The taller one pointed toward the dark hills beyond the colony. A strange symbol appeared in Eli's mind. A glowing blue circle with 3 dots inside it. It felt like an invitation. You want me to come? Eli asked. The alien nodded again. Suddenly, a bright beam of light shot across the sky. A human drone. It spotted movement and started scanning. The aliens froze, panic in their eyes. Eli turned to the drone, waving his arms. No, don't hurt them. The drone's siren beeped, red lights flashing. It aimed a sensor beam toward the twins. Before Eli could do anything, the blanket's glow exploded into a wave of light that covered him and the aliens. The beam hit the light and bounced off harmlessly. Inside the control room, a guard shouted, "Energy surge!" Unknown source near Sector 9. The aliens grabbed Eli's hand. The ground beneath them started to shimmer, as if turning into liquid glass. Eli's heart pounded. What's happening? He cried. The smaller alien whispered something, and the world went white. When the light faded, the colony fence was empty. Only a small patch of glowing dust remained, marking the spot where a boy and 2 alien twins had stood. And far away, in the silent hills of Mars II, something ancient had awakened. When Eli opened his eyes, everything was quiet. He was lying on soft ground that shimmered like glass. Above him, the red sky of Mars II was gone. Instead, he saw a wide dome of light, blue, silver, and filled with slow-moving clouds that glowed from within. It was beautiful and strange. He sat up slowly. His blanket was still around him, glowing faintly, but now it looked different. The blue threads were moving. like tiny rivers of light running through the cloth. Eli looked around. He was in a wide-open place. Broken towers, crystal walls, and silver sand that sparkled under the glowing sky. It was a city, but not like any human city. The air smelled clean, full of energy. Every sound echoed like music. He turned and saw the two alien twins standing near him. They looked stronger now, not shivering anymore. Their eyes were bright and calm. The taller one stepped forward and touched his arm. Eli. The voice was soft but clear inside his head. It wasn't sound. It was thought. You can talk, he said in surprise. The alien smiled slightly. Yes, now you can hear. Eli looked around again. Where are we? The smaller alien walked to a tall structure made of glass and light. Home, the voice said inside his mind. Old home. Eli followed them, stepping carefully. His shoes made soft sounds on the glass floor. This place is beautiful, he whispered. The aliens looked sad. Long ago it was alive, the taller one said. Our people lived here before the red storms came. We left when the fire from the sky destroyed the light. Eli frowned, not understanding everything, but he could feel their sadness like a cold wind in his chest. You lived here before humans came? The taller one nodded. Yes, before humans, before cities, before metal walls. Eli ran his fingers over a broken crystal wall. It showed faint shapes, pictures of tall beings with glowing skin standing under two suns. The same aliens long ago, smiling and peaceful. What happened to them? Eli asked softly. The dark came, said the smaller twin. The sky turned red. Our power fell asleep. We were the last to wake. Eli sat on a smooth stone, holding his blanket. It pulsed faintly with the same light that filled the air. Why did you bring me here? The taller twin knelt beside him. Because your kindness woke something, it said. When you gave your warmth, you opened the old gate. Eli blinked. Gate? They pointed toward the center of the city, where a large crystal spire stood. It was cracked, half-buried, but still shining faintly blue. Around it, the air rippled like heat waves. That is the heart, said the smaller twin. It keeps the city alive. It is weak now. But your light, your kindness, can help us wake it. Eli's eyes widened. Me? I'm just a kid. You are not only human, said the taller twin. You are hope. The heart listens to souls that give, not take. Before Eli could speak, the ground trembled. Dust fell from the broken towers. A low, deep sound moved through the city, like something heavy turning in its sleep. The twins looked scared. They have found us, the smaller one whispered. Who? Eli asked quickly. The taller twin's black eyes turned sharp. The hunters. From far across the city, shadows began to move. Dark shapes, metal and red lights flashing, human drones. They were scanning the ruins, their sensors glowing bright. The human colony had detected the energy surge. Now they were searching for the missing boy. Eli's heart raced. They're looking for me. They think you are in danger, said the taller twin. But if they come here, they will destroy the heart. Humans fear what they don't understand. What do we do? Eli asked. The aliens looked at each other. The smaller one reached out and touched his blanket. The light from it spread through the ground, running like blue fire toward the center spire. The spire began to hum, slowly awakening. Help us, the smaller twin said. We can save both worlds. The light around them grew stronger. The drones came closer, their red eyes scanning the glass ruins. The tallest tower cracked again, sending pieces of crystal raining down. Eli stood, clutching his blanket. Tell me what to do! The taller twin placed its glowing hand over his heart. Believe, it whispered. The heart will listen. A deep sound filled the city, a pulse strong and alive. The ground flashed with light as energy lines connected every broken wall, every tower. The entire city began to glow. The drones stopped in the air, confused by the energy surge. One of them tried to fire a warning shot, but the beam dissolved before it reached the ground. Eli felt warmth spreading through his whole body, through the blanket, into the earth. His eyes widened as the spire's light grew brighter and brighter. The city of glass began to breathe again, and far above, in the sky of Mars 2, a signal shot into space. A single, clear beam of blue light calling out across the stars. The hunters stopped. The drones froze. The world waited, and Eli, the small human boy, stood in the center of an ancient city glowing like a star. High above Mars 2, The sky shimmered with a strange blue beam that reached into space like a sword of light. It pulsed once every few seconds, soft but powerful, alive. In the colony below, alarms began to ring. Inside the control tower, Commander Rian stormed in, his boots echoing on the metal floor.
"What's happening?"
he barked. A young technician pointed to the screen. "Sir, the scanners picked up a massive energy burst near Sector 9. It's not human-made. It's something else." Ryan narrowed his eyes. "And the missing child?" "Still unaccounted for," the technician replied. "Eli Larson, age 5. Last seen near that area?" Ryan frowned. "Get a drone team ready. I want eyes on that beam. Now." In the city of glass deep underground, the blue light faded softly through the crystal walls. Eli stood beside the alien twins, his heart still racing. The air around them was calm again, but everything felt different. The city was no longer dead. It was awake. The glowing spire, the heart, was beating slowly, sending ripples of energy through the ground. Eli could feel it, like a heartbeat under his feet. His blanket shimmered brighter, matching the rhythm. The taller twin looked up at the spire and whispered through thought, "It remembers." "What remembers?" Eli asked, his voice small in the huge chamber. "The city," the alien said. "It knows your kindness. It listens to your light." Eli didn't understand everything, but he felt it, the warmth, the connection. It was like the city itself was alive and watching him. The smaller twin touched the spire gently. "The signal has gone out," it said. "Our people will hear, but humans will come too." Eli looked worried. "My mom, she must be scared." The taller twin nodded. "She will find you, but others will come first. Not to save, to control." The human response commander Ryan's ship landed near the ruins, kicking up waves of red dust. He stepped out in his armored suit, followed by 5 soldiers. Their visors glowed yellow, scanning the strange lights flickering in the distance. "Be ready," Ryan said. "If it's alien tech, we lock it down." One of the soldiers pointed toward the glowing dome far ahead. "Sir, I'm picking up biological life signs, 3 of them." "1 human, 2 unknown." Ryan's jaw tightened. "Then we move fast." The whisper of the heart down in the ruins. Eli heard faint echoes and footsteps far away, boots striking the glass floor. "They're coming," the smaller twin said. "We must hide," said the taller one. "They cannot see the heart, not yet." Eli hesitated. "But they're humans. Like me." The twins' eyes darkened. "Humans took this world from the old ones. They broke what they didn't understand." Eli shook his head. "Not all humans are bad. My mom says kindness makes us human." The taller twin tilted its head, studying him. "Maybe you are different." Suddenly, the ground beneath them flickered again. The heart pulsed faster, reacting to something, fear perhaps. A voice echoed through the chamber, deep and ancient. It wasn't the twins this time. "The Guardian returns. The bridge awakens." Eli froze. "Who said that?" The twins looked around, just as shocked. The smaller one whispered, "It speaks again." The spire's light grew so bright that Eli had to cover his eyes. From the center of the crystal, a shape began to form, a tall figure, transparent and made of light. It looked like the twins, but older, wiser, and glowing with white fire. Eli stepped back. "Is that your leader?" The twins bowed their heads. "The elder," said the taller one. "The keeper of the heart." The glowing figure spoke again, its voice calm but powerful. "The human child carries the warmth of life." He awakened the lost flame. He must not fall into darkness. Eli looked confused. "Me, I just helped you. I gave you my blanket." The elder turned its gaze toward him. That act carried pure intention. It opened the bond between hearts. You gave without asking. And now the old power flows again. Eli felt his blanket grow warmer, almost hot. "What happens now?" The elder's eyes glowed brighter. "The heart needs protection. Darkness follows the light. Your kind will come, some to help, many to harm. You must choose who to trust." The twins looked toward the tunnels. Human voices were echoing now. "Closer. They're here," the smaller one said quickly. The elder faded slowly, leaving only the echo of its words. "Protect the heart, child of Earth. Before the storm begins." The collision. The next second, Commander Rian and his soldiers burst into the chamber. Their lights swept across the glowing crystals, the spire, and finally, the boy, Eli. Ryan shouted. "Stay right there." The soldiers aimed their scanners. "Energy readings off the charts, sir." Ryan raised his hand. "Secure the child. But before they could move, the taller alien stepped forward, spreading its hands. A wave of blue energy burst from its palms, forming a barrier between Eli and the humans. The soldiers stumbled back, shields flashing. "Sir, it's resisting," one yelled. Rian frowned. "Then we push through," Eli shouted. "Stop. They're not bad." No one listened. The soldiers fired, harmless energy pulses, but enough to anger the twins. The smaller one screamed, and the whole chamber shook. The heart blazed again, brighter than before. The humans shielded their eyes. The aliens disappeared into the light, taking Eli with them. When the brightness faded, only the glowing spire remained, humming softly. Commander Ryan lowered his weapon, his face pale. "What in God's name just happened?" he whispered. And far below, deep in the awakened city, Eli opened his eyes once more, this time inside a place even the twins feared to go. Eli woke up in darkness. He was lying on cold glass, the glowing lines of blue light fading slowly under him. The air was heavy and warm. Somewhere nearby, water dripped and slow, steady, echoing. He blinked, trying to see through the dim glow. Then he remembered. The soldiers, the light, the aliens pulling him away. Where am I?" he whispered. A soft hum answered. The ground below him began to brighten, revealing strange patterns, circles and symbols glowing faintly under the glass floor. He sat up. His blanket was still around him, its glow dim but alive. From the shadows, two shapes appeared. The alien twins. They looked tired, their skin dull, but their eyes were full of calm strength. "You're safe," the taller one said through thought. "The soldiers cannot find this place." Eli looked around. They were inside a massive underground dome far beneath the city of glass. The walls were smooth, covered in carvings, pictures of stars, planets, and beings of light. "What is this place?" Eli asked. The smaller twin's voice entered his mind, soft and sad. "This is the root, the oldest part of our world. The humans built their colonies above it, not knowing what slept below." Eli touched the ground. It felt warm, alive, almost breathing. "I didn't know any of this," he said quietly. "I thought Mars was just rocks and dust." The taller twin knelt beside him. "Long ago it was not Mars, it was our home, alien. Red skies, yes, but full of water, forests, and light. Until the war." Eli frowned. "War?" The alien's voice darkened. "The war that ended everything. Between those who wanted peace and those who wanted control." As the alien spoke, the wall shimmered. The carvings came to life, images moving like memories. Eli saw tall, glowing beings standing before a massive gate of light. Behind them were ships of crystal rising into the air. Then fire, red storms and falling rocks, until everything turned to silence. "Our people tried to escape," said the smaller twin. "Only a few survived. We went into deep sleep beneath the ground. The heart kept us alive, waiting for the world to heal." Eli's eyes widened. "You've been asleep? For thousands of years?" The twins nodded. "Until your kindness woke us." He looked down at his small hands. "But why me?" The taller twin smiled softly. "Because your heart was open. The heart listens to love. That is something even time cannot erase." Eli didn't know what to say. His chest felt warm, not just from the blanket, but from something deep inside. Suddenly, a loud crack echoed through the dome. The ground shook slightly. Dust fell from the ceiling. The smaller twin's eyes flashed blue. "They're trying to break through," it said. "The humans found the tunnel." Eli jumped up. "We have to stop them." "If they hurt the heart," the taller one raised a hand. "Wait, there is more you must know." The ground beneath the heart began to glow again. A circle of light appeared in the center of the floor, and a new image rose. A planet, blue and green. "Earth." Eli gasped. "That's my home." The alien nodded. "Yes, the heart remembers your world too. What do you mean?" The taller twin touched the glowing image. "Our ancestors went to many worlds before the war. They helped build life. They shared light with other young planets. One of those was your Earth." Eli stared, eyes wide. "So, humans came from your people?" "In a way," said the smaller twin. "You are not born from us, but shaped by our gift. The spark of warmth, the same energy that lives in your heart, comes from the same source as ours." Eli stepped back, his mind spinning. "So we're connected. Like family?" "Yes," the taller one said gently. "And that is why you can use the heart. Why it answered your kindness. The sound above them grew louder, metal crashing, engines whirring. Commander Rian's voice echoed faintly through the cracks. Open that tunnel. Find the boy. Eli turned to the twins, scared. They'll destroy everything. The smaller twin looked at him seriously. Then you must protect it. The heart will listen to you now. Eli swallowed hard. But how? The taller twin pointed to the blanket. It carries the same light. You can wake the heart completely. It will shield us all. He looked down at the glowing cloth. The same blanket he had given out of love, now alive with power. What if I can't? You can, the alien said. Because you already did. The ground shook again, closer this time. The sound of human voices filled the tunnel. Eli took a deep breath and stepped into the circle of light. Okay, he said softly. I'll try. He spread the blanket open, holding it above his head. The light from it grew until it filled the dome, brighter and brighter. The carvings on the walls began to glow too, as if awakening. The twins stood beside him, their eyes closed, hands raised toward the heart. And when Eli whispered the one word that came to his mind, peace, the entire underground world exploded into blue light. The light spread like a living wave. Every crystal, every wall, every grain of red dust began to glow with the same soft blue fire. The air shimmered, humming like 1,000 voices whispering at once. Eli stood in the center of the dome, his blanket floating around him, its threads blazing brighter than ever. His eyes were wide, but he wasn't afraid. He felt peace, the kind that touched the soul. The alien twins stood beside him, hands lifted toward the ceiling. Their bodies shone like glass. It's listening, the taller one said through thought. The heart is awake again. High above, on the surface, Commander Rian and his soldiers fell back as the ground itself began to pulse with blue light. Their scanners went wild, energy surge increasing, one soldier shouted. We can't contain this. Ryan squinted at the beam now shooting from the ruins into the clouds. Hold your positions. We need that power source. But even as he spoke, his helmet screen flickered. For a split second he saw faces, not human, but peaceful, luminous. Then his comms went silent. Inside the dome, the humming grew stronger until the sound became a melody, slow, ancient, beautiful. Eli looked around, amazed. The carvings on the walls now moved like waves of light, showing images of other worlds, green forests, blue oceans, golden skies. What is this? Eli asked softly. The heart remembers all life, the smaller twin said. It keeps the stories of the stars. The taller one added, and now it connects again, your world to ours. The bridge is open. Eli didn't understand all of it, but he could feel it, as if his chest held a tiny sun. His blanket glowed so bright that it no longer looked like cloth. It looked like energy shaped into fabric. Then the earth appeared among the floating images, spinning slowly, bright and alive. A blue thread of light stretched from Mars 2 to that tiny world. Eli gasped. That's home. Yes, said the taller twin. The heart is speaking to your people, to those who can hear. Above ground, the colony's sky turned completely blue. People ran outside staring at the strange light covering everything. The red dust lifted and shimmered, dancing like tiny stars. Lara, Eli's mother, stood on the roof of their home, her eyes full of tears. Eli, please be safe, she whispered. Suddenly her wrist communicator buzzed. The screen flickered, and for a brief moment she saw her son's face, calm, surrounded by light. Mama, his small voice said, don't be scared. It's beautiful here. The image vanished, leaving only static. Lara covered her mouth, shaking. He's alive, she whispered. He's alive. The Guardians returned deep below. The heart's chamber began to change. The light gathered into a tall shape again. The Elder. This time it was brighter, clearer, almost solid. Child of Earth, the voice echoed. You have done what no warrior could. You awakened what time forgot. Eli looked up. I didn't mean to. I just wanted to help. That is why it worked, the Elder said kindly. Power without kindness is destruction. Kindness without strength is silence. You have both. The twins bowed their heads as the Elder turned to them. Your world breathes again. But the cycle is not finished. The heart will share its light, or it will burn. The taller twin asked, Can it save the humans too? Yes, said the Elder, if they learn to listen. Eli stepped closer. Then I'll help them understand. The shockwave, a deep rumble, shook the dome. The heart's glow pulsed violently, then burst upward in a column of light. It pierced the surface, reaching the red sky. Commander Ryan's team was thrown back by the force. Their machines shut down instantly. For a few seconds, gravity itself seemed to disappear. And then, silence. When the light faded, the once barren desert was gone. The ground shimmered with crystal rivers. Plants, small glowing vines, began to grow out of the dust, their roots feeding on the energy of the heart. Ryan removed his helmet, speechless. "Life," he whispered. "On Mars." One of the soldiers pointed at the horizon. "Sir, look." Blue towers rose where ruins once stood. The lost city of glass was rebuilding itself, piece by piece, alive again. Inside the dome, Eli looked exhausted. His small hands trembled, but the twins supported him. The elder's voice grew soft. "The link between your worlds is open. The heart will share its gift of life. But remember, light can heal, and light can destroy. Your people must decide which it will be." Eli nodded weakly. "I'll tell them. I'll make them see what kindness can do." The elder smiled. "Then your journey is not over. You will return." But not alone. The twins looked at each other. The smaller one touched Eli's shoulder. "We will go with you, little human. The bridge needs both sides." The taller twin added, "Together we can teach them." The elder raised its hands. "Go now." The surface weights returned to the light. The floor beneath them shimmered. The blanket wrapped around Eli like a cocoon, glowing gold and blue. The next instant, a flash of light filled the chamber, and they were gone. When the glow cleared, a small figure appeared on the red sand, surrounded by mist. Lara fell to her knees, crying with joy as she ran toward him. "Eli," she shouted. He smiled and ran into her arms, still wrapped in his shining blanket. "Mama," he whispered, "I met the stars." Behind them, two faint blue shapes appeared on the horizon, the alien twins, watching silently as the sunrise turned Mars to golden. And deep beneath the planet's surface, the heart kept beating, slow, steady, waiting, because the true test of its light was only beginning. The first sunrise after the awakening painted Mars the second gold. The once red world now shimmered with soft blue veins of light that stretched across the desert like rivers. The air felt alive, warmer, brighter, easier to breathe. Life was returning. Eli stood on a hill with the alien twins beside him. Below, the human colony bustled with confusion and awe. People pointed at the glowing soil, at plants breaking through the dust. Some laughed. Others cried. No one understood what had happened. Eli's mother, Lara, held his hand tightly. "You've been gone for 2 days," she whispered, her eyes still wet. "I thought I'd lost you forever." Eli smiled faintly. "I wasn't lost, Mama. I found them." He looked at the twins. Their glowing eyes met his, gentle, calm, full of quiet wisdom. "They showed me what Mars really is." Lara turned to them, still uncertain. "You saved my boy," she said softly. "Thank you." The taller twin bowed slightly. "He saved us first." The meeting later that day, Commander Ryan called for a meeting. The human leaders gathered in the colony's dome hall. Outside, soldiers kept watch on the horizon, where blue light still danced like fog. Ryan stood before the crowd. "We have seen things beyond science," he said. "This energy, this heart, changed the planet. But we don't know what it will do next." Whispers filled the hall. Some wanted to harness the energy for power. Others feared it might destroy them all. Eli, sitting beside his mother, felt the twins' thoughts brushing his mind. "They do not understand," the smaller one whispered. He stood up suddenly. "I can explain," he said. The adults turned toward him. A child speaking in a council hall seemed almost foolish, until they saw his blanket still glowing faintly around his shoulders. Eli took a breath. "The heart is alive. It's not a weapon. It's like a seed. It gives life when people share kindness. That's how I woke it. I helped the twins, and it listened." The room fell silent. Ryan frowned. "You're saying this heart responds to emotions?" "Yes," Eli said. "It listens to what's inside you. If you hurt others, it turns dark. But if you care, it grows." The taller twin stepped forward. "The boy speaks truth. The heart was built to unite, not divide. It links every living soul. Your world and ours are connected now." Ryan's voice was low. "And if we tried to take it?" The smaller twin's eyes glowed. Then it will close forever. The decision outside, the sky flickered again. The heart's light pulsed brighter, as if waiting. Lara stepped beside her son. "Commander," she said, her voice steady. "We came to this world to find a future. Maybe this is the future. Not by taking, but by learning to share." Rian looked at her, then at the small boy holding an alien's hand. His face softened. "You think peace is that simple?" Eli smiled. "It is. You just have to start small, like giving someone your blanket." For a moment, no one spoke. Then Ryan exhaled slowly and nodded. "Then let's not repeat Earth's mistakes." He turned to his team. "We'll build with them, not over them." The crowd murmured in surprise and then applause. Some humans smiled at the aliens for the first time. Others bowed their heads, unsure but hopeful. Above the colony, the blue beam faded into the sky, leaving a soft glow that lingered like a heartbeat. Days passed. Humans and aliens began to rebuild the city of glass together. Drones carried supplies. Alien hands shaped crystal structures that hummed with music. The once cold desert now shimmered with streams of light. Eli often played near the heart, watched by the twins. They told him stories of stars that sang, of worlds reborn, and in return he taught them human things, how to laugh, how to draw shapes in the sand, how to say thank you with words. One evening, as the sun dipped below the red hills, the taller twin handed him a small crystal sphere. Inside, tiny blue sparks danced. "What's this?" Eli asked. "It's part of the heart," said the twin. "It listens to you. When you feel lost, it will show you light." Eli held it close. "Will I ever see you again?" The smaller one smiled. "Always. We live where kindness lives." Years later, humans and aliens called the planet Alien 2, in honor of the world that once was. Towers of glass rose beside domes of steel. Gardens bloomed in the red soil. The blue light never faded. Eli grew older. His blanket still folded on his bed, the first bridge between two species. Every night he looked at the stars and wondered which one the twins now called home. And somewhere far beyond, two glowing figures looked back smiling. The heart kept beating slow and strong, linking every world it touched, because it all began with a small boy and a single act of kindness on a cold night.